What if I told you that even during a so-called ceasefire, people are still dying? More than 20 lives have been lost in just one day, as deadly strikes hit different parts of Ukraine. Cities are burning, families are mourning, and the promise of peace seems more fragile than ever. In places like Zaporizhia, Kramatorsk, and Dnipro, explosions have once again shattered any hope of calm. And while leaders talk about ceasefires and diplomacy, the reality on the ground tells a completely different story, even inside Russia. Drone attacks are now causing casualties, raising a serious question: is this war expanding beyond control? Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called these attacks acts of terror, urging for real negotiations, but will anyone listen? Is this the beginning of the end? Or just another escalation in a war that refuses to stop? Stay with us as we break down what's really happening and what it could mean for the future of this conflict. Heavy Russian strikes have once again shaken the lives of civilians in Ukraine, where more than 20 people were killed in different parts of the country on Tuesday. This happened despite the announcement of temporary ceasefires by both sides, although it appears that these agreements were not fully respected. In the city of Zaporizhia, local authorities reported devastating news: 12 people lost their lives in a Russian airstrike. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky described the attack as an act of terrorism and a sign of deep contempt for civilian lives. He emphasized that such attacks push peace further away and demonstrate the continued intensity of the war. In other areas like Kramatorsk, 5 people were killed, while 4 others died in Dnipro. These regions were heavily targeted, leaving many families in grief and others losing everything they owned. But the effects of the war are not limited to Ukraine. In Russia itself, in the Chuvash Republic, authorities reported a drone attack on Tuesday morning that killed 2 people and injured 32 others. This highlights how the conflict is expanding and increasingly affecting both sides. On Monday, both Russia and Ukraine had announced their own ceasefires. These were intended to allow time to commemorate the victory of the former Soviet Union over Nazi Germany, with celebrations planned for Saturday. However, despite these declarations, fighting continued, showing a serious lack of trust and coordination. Russia had stated it would observe a ceasefire on May 8th and 9th, but also warned that it could launch heavy missile strikes, particularly targeting the city of Kyiv, if Ukraine failed to comply. This warning raised significant concern, as it suggests that major attacks could happen at any moment on the Ukrainian side. Authorities said they would respect a ceasefire starting at midnight on May 6th. Officials explained that their actions would mirror those of Russia, depending on how Moscow behaves. This created the impression that no clear or mutual agreement truly exists between the two sides. In reality, these ceasefires appear to be unilateral, as there is no full agreement on their rules, duration, or monitoring mechanisms. This creates confusion and makes it difficult for civilians to know whether peace is possible or if the war will continue. Kyrilo Budanov, a senior Ukrainian official, stated that if Russia respects the ceasefire announced by Ukraine, then Ukraine will also continue to honor it. However, he stressed that the next step lies in Russia's hands. This shows that Ukraine may be ready for peace, but is still waiting for concrete actions from Russia. President Zelensky also called on Russia to lay down its weapons and begin genuine diplomatic negotiations. He said this is the only way to stop the ongoing bloodshed and restore stability in the country. As the world continues to follow the situation in the region, many are asking whether there is real hope for peace, or if the war will continue to claim more lives. Ordinary civilians remain the ones paying the highest price, while leaders remain engaged in ongoing discussions. This war has already lasted a long time, and its consequences continue to grow each day. Many people are now questioning whether a lasting solution can be found, or if the world will continue to witness suffering and loss for a long time to come. We'll continue to bring you more updates as the story develops. In our analysis today, we focus on a very important report released by the international newspaper, The Wall Street Journal, which carries the headline, "The possibility that Russia may be supporting Iran in the ongoing struggle of interests and power between Iran and the United States of America." This report brings us to a very serious question. How are major world powers forming hidden alliances in ways that are not clearly visible, in order to confront or compete with others on the global stage? According to the Wall Street Journal, there are indications that cooperation between Russia and Iran is increasing, especially in matters related to defense and countering American interests. This is not presented as mere rumors, but rather as information supported by intelligence reports and deep analysis from experts in international security. The United States, as the world's leading military and economic power for many years, is fully aware of the potential risks posed by Iran, whether in the Middle East region or globally. However, what is surprising is that the way the United States is dealing with Iran is very different from the approach being used by Russia, while the United States focuses on economic sanctions, diplomacy, and intelligence operations to reduce Iran's influence. Russia appears to be supporting Iran in less visible ways, including the sharing of important intelligence, information that could help Iran prepare and defend itself. Reports suggest that a significant meeting recently took place between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. This meeting was held in the city of St. Petersburg, one of Russia's most important political centers. This was not just a routine diplomatic visit. It took place at a time when reports had already emerged indicating that Russia had been providing intelligence information to Iran for some time. Such information could potentially be used for military planning or for preparing responses to possible attacks from the United States or its allies. This raises many questions. Why is Russia supporting Iran in this way? Is it an attempt to weaken American influence? Or is it a strategy to build a new alliance that could reshape the global balance of power? Many experts in military affairs and international relations believe that this is part of a larger geopolitical game, where each major power seeks to strengthen its own interests. Russia may see Iran as a strategic partner in countering U.S. dominance, while Iran may view Russia as a key ally capable of supporting it in difficult times. However, such developments could have serious consequences for global security. When powerful nations begin cooperating closely in military or intelligence matters, it can lead to new conflicts or intensify existing tensions. On the other hand, the United States is not standing still. It continues to use various methods to monitor the extent of cooperation between Russia and Iran. These include advanced intelligence tools, military surveillance, and cooperation with allied countries to obtain accurate information. But the biggest question remains: where is the world heading? Are we moving toward another major conflict between global powers? Or is there still room for diplomacy to resolve these issues peacefully? Many people around the world fear that this growing cooperation could eventually lead to a large-scale conflict, with consequences affecting many countries, including those not directly involved in these disputes. In conclusion, we can say that the world is currently in a very sensitive period, where decisions made by major powers could reshape global history. The cooperation between Russia and Iran, if fully confirmed, could become one of the key factors influencing the future of global security. That is why it is extremely important to continue following these developments closely, analyzing them carefully, and understanding what they truly mean for all of us as global citizens. This is the New Africa Report. Thank you for watching. We'll continue bringing you the latest updates as the story develops. Goodbye for now.